Everyone, welcome to the Divine Interception YouTube video. As you can see, your boy and Commissioner JP Flores representing his man, Alvin Mario, right behind me, leading my team to a much needed victory last night against a worthy opponent, Matt Cawthon. And we have a special guest today, the first of many guests, longtime viewer, first time caller, Clara. How you doing, Clara?
Clara!
What's up, girly?
Ain't nothing much.
All right, so let's jump right into this. We're gonna go over the week. Funny enough, Harry got the worst manager award, and I find that funny because she still won, but she could have had the highest score of the week if she had started some different things. Basically, Carrie's team is on a roll, and that's why she's first in the division. The highest score of the week goes to Gobble Gobble. He gobbled up the competition, man. Zach put up a big, big fight. He would have beaten anybody else. 142 points. But man, Eric, crazy big score. Lowest score of the week. Why don't you take this one, man? Give me your thoughts on the lowest score of the week.
Oh, man. Well, the lowest score of the week, Alex, I'm sorry, but that's how it feels to be the toilet bowl owner of that trophy, and I foresee you holding up the loser license plate. The I suck at fantasy football. You can't go to Chick-fil-A without people behind you in the drive-thru honking at you, realizing how bad you suck, because that was pathetic.
Yeah, Will Fuller, man, a big goose egg. Adrian Peterson disappeared this week. That team, they should be better. They should be better. And real quick, I want to update. The West Coast division is up for grabs. So 3 teams are at 1-1. They're challenging for second. So James, everyone who is 1-1 in that division is hoping you can take down Rhett. Because if you can beat Rhett this week, then the number 2 spot in that division opens up. So everyone, you want to make your trades with James so he can take down Rhett this week. All right, let's jump right into the weekly matchups. We have Milkos versus Mass. Milkos, as your younger brother who is a champion, I'm going to advise you, please drop Ingram. Please drop Kerryon Johnson. Get somebody else. They're useless players on your team. You've been holding on to Freeman, and hey, he might get signed or is getting signed by the Giants as we currently speak. Going to take over that backfield for the injured Saquon out for the season. Maybe go pick up a wide receiver. Mass, you need to drop Williams. You can pick up a wide receiver. Maybe figure out something to do with Boyd. He doesn't look very good. If he was on my team, I would have dropped him. That's coming from someone who wanted to draft Tyler Boyd this year. I'm going to give the win, though, to Milkos this week. I think Milkos is going to win. I think with Russell Wilson against Dallas, he's going to have another high-scoring week. I think Mixon is going to run all over that Philadelphia defense or lack of defense and put up some big yardage, something that he's been waiting for 3 weeks now. And I think Juju is going to put up I'm going to say 2 touchdowns against Houston. So I'm giving the winner to Milkos. He'll bounce back and move up to 1-2. What about you? You're giving it to Milkos or Mass this week?
You know what? I think I will give it to Milkos. I think Clara's thinking Mass, though, as she disagrees with me. But I'm thinking that, Ingram might not be so bad to have. Well, actually, never mind. Yeah, he will. You can go ahead and drop him. And while you're at it, why don't you drop Adams as well? I'm sure he's not going to be very productive this year or this week. So I'd be happy to take him off for you. No, but seriously, I foresee that Milkos will go ahead and pull this win out, and so I would agree with you, JP.
Wow, that's crazy. I think Mass is going to want to show us differently. All right, why don't you take the next matchup, Eric versus Matt.
All right. Well, Matt, I think that Brady and Miller are both droppable. Coming off of a big win against Zach I can't do this. I'm reading your notes.
It's all right. Yeah, so
You go for it.
is coming off a big win. Highest score. I think he needs to drop Hooper. I don't know that Hooper's going to do anything for him as far as the tight ends. There's so many streamable tight ends. Like, man, he's just wasting space. Matt, you should have won this week. You should have won this week. So the winner against Matt versus Eric, two big players. I'm going to give it to Matt. I think his team is solid. He came off this week injury-free. And if I could trade my team for one other team in the league, it would be him. So I'm giving this one to Matt. What about you?
I don't know. You think that? I don't know. I think Eric, he had an impressive week this last week. He, like you said, he was the highest scorer. He's got a lot of great players on his team also. I, you know, I don't see anything that would make me think he's not going to score big again this week. I kind of want to go with Eric and think that he's going to, again, gobble up the competition.
One of us is going to be right. One of us is going to look like a fool. Kind of like Alex's team. And that brings us to Alex versus Carrie. All right. You got Watkins, dude. The guy's injured. Plus, you have Mecole Hardman, who I think is going to do great things, went to a great college. Go Dogs. I think Jefferson is droppable. That team does not pass. The Vikings don't do a whole lot through the air. Pick up some valuable players. Make a bid for one of these running backs. Also, I don't know if you caught the game last night, man, but Breeze looks as bad as Tom Brady. These old guys, I'm scared for them. They're great players. As far as real football is concerned, they're terrible fantasy players. I don't know. Would you drop Breeze? Would you hold on to him? What would you do?
Yeah, I'd probably go ahead and drop Breeze also. I mean, it's like you want to root for them because they've been high scorers for years in fantasy, him and Tom Brady. But Tom Brady started to even drop off last year, and I feel like Breeze is starting to, although like you said, they're great players and a great, they lead their teams fairly well. They're not going to be huge fantasy points. I think he's going to end up giving the ball to Kamara a lot, and so that's going to be good for you. So you'll be all set there, but I would probably get rid of him. And I don't know, maybe you want to get a different defense to go, and they're not. Kansas City against Baltimore is probably going to be high scoring, so it's probably just going to be negative points there. And so that'd be my opinion. But right now it's looking like it's going to Sticker Girl, and so I would think she's going to win it this week.
Yeah, Carrie, start Cam. Or don't. It doesn't matter. You're between a rock and a hard place, or whatever the opposite of that is. Cam Newton and Deshaun Watson, you have two good quarterbacks. You can drop Olsen, but outside of that, like, your team is great. You got a lot of great rookies. Hopefully won't get injured. Alex, you have a tough matchup this weekend, but I'm going with Sticker Girl as well. She's going to remain number one in the division. All right, Chad versus.
Sorry, real quick. I was going to say, what do you think about Alex picking up Ryan Tannehill? He had a great game this last week, or do you think he's not that might have been more of a fluke?
No, I think Tannehill's a great streamer, man. I think he actually, more so than a streamer, I think between him and Minshew, those are the last two people that could really get someone over that quarterback hump. If I didn't have Minshew, I would go with Tannehill personally. I think that's a great recommendation. But let's see who wants him badly enough, right? Great advice. All right, Chad versus Drew. Chad, you just dropped $50 on Nyheim Hines. I put in my notes, more like run and hide. Nothing for you. But you made a good trade. DeAndre Hopkins to get Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones, man, almost 50 points this week. I think you can drop Wentz. I think you can drop Breida, Perryman. I think use the remainder of your fab to figure out your running back situation. Great trade for Aaron Jones. I was not an Aaron Jones fan, but I'm looking silly because he looks like the real deal. He's out of the cage. He's free. Arguably the best running back for fantasy moving forward. He catches, he runs. He looks really good. Drew, where's that Mahomes magic? Um, I think you can hold on to AJ Green. I think you also need to use some of your fab or make some trades. Trade some of your wide receivers for some running back depth. But I got to give this win to Chad. Now, here's the fun thing. You have Lamar Jackson on Chad's side versus Patrick Mahomes on Drew's side. I think we see a gobble gobble versus Zach type of matchup this week. Two highest scores. I'm glad I'm not going up against either one of these guys this week. But I'm going to give it to Chad. Chad has Kelsey. So if Mahomes, in fact, throws to his boy, all those points are going to Chad. So I'm giving it to Chad this week with that slight edge in the tight end department. What about you?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say thank you for picking up Hines because I did bid on him as well, and I lost. I was humiliated with how much you spent on him, but at the same time, it helped me get the victory last week. So, thank you there. But yeah, I don't foresee him having that bad of a week against the New York Jets. So maybe he'll get you some points this week. Aaron Jones, like JP said, was solid, and I thought he might win it for you. At first, I was a little worried that he was going to get enough points to outweigh the 0 or the 0.9 points or whatever Hines got. So I do think that Chad is going to pull through this week.
Yeah, really good 1-1 team. All right, Rhett versus James. All right, both of y'all are undefeated.
Rhett's going to win.
Man, he got a lot of value out of Montgomery. He felt him in the draft. He got a lot of value out of Higbee. So drop Gronk. What are you going to do with him? No one's going to pick him up. Don't be worried about that. James, CMC and George Kittle are out. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's a bit of a brutal loss for me. I was pleasantly surprised that Smith ended up getting me a big haul last week in the tight end position. I don't know that he'd be able to replicate that again this week, and I don't know who's going to replicate Christian McCaffrey. So that's going to be tough. Those are two tough losses. So we'll see.
You're allowed to start. I think if you're the McCaffrey owner, you're allowed to start 2 running backs in his position.
Yeah.
The same amount of points. I'll check on that.
Yeah. So that's probably true. So it's going to be tough. I'm going to need some unexpected, magic from some of my guys to pull this one off. But I also am trying to reverse jinx myself. I was for sure I was losing last week, and I pulled through. So maybe I can do that again. I'm going to lose.
So, hey, my advice to you, though, I think you can drop Sutton. I don't think he's going to be worth stashing or putting in your IR.
Right.
I don't think you can move McCaffrey to IR. I don't really know how the league settings work on that. But, yeah, I don't see a point in keeping on to Cortland Sutton. Spend some of your money, man. Get some wide receiver, get some running back, make a bid. Obviously, Chad went big and got a solid player. He just had a bad week, but I'm with you. I think he bounces back. Hey, I love you, man, but I'm giving this one to Rhett. I don't ever want him to play Rhett. He is the luckiest fantasy football owner I know. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, I think that stack's going to go. I think David Montgomery is going to run all over us because Dan Quinn doesn't know how to coach a football team. I hate being a Falcons fan right now. So I got to give the win to him. What about you? You think you're going to win, or you're going to stick?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I got a lot of injuries, so I wouldn't give it to me, but, I'm hoping for some magic this week. You never know.
Smallest margin of victory between you and Rhett this week. All right. Lastly, myself versus Zach. Last year when I played Zach, I was the underdog by like 30-something, or like I guess 70%. And I went out to the waiver wire at the last second, picked up Will Fuller, threw him in my flex. Will Fuller, 45 points. So it's time for Zach to win. To win. I know he's going to make trades to win. DeAndre Hopkins could have 3 touchdowns against Detroit. I don't feel good about this week. He has Darren Waller. He's a target monster. You would think he was invisible last night, the way that the Saints didn't guard him until he caught the ball. Like, it's crazy. Zach, maybe drop Tariq Cohen. I don't know he's going to do a whole lot for your team. That said, obviously, you have running back, and he is going up against my Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, he has a soft matchup this week. Good job on the Kelly pickup. I think he's your league winner. I think he's a start. But I got my team this week, so I'm going to for the win, which means I'm probably going to lose. So, what do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I keep on thinking back to my initial prediction that Zach was going to be the last place person this year, and I think Claire agrees with me. You know, it's no offense, man. You were my prediction. I should have trusted my gut. If anyone should have won last week, you should have won, but you didn't. 142 points you had. Why didn't you win? I think it's because my prediction is true. You are going to lose, and you're going to be wearing that license plate on the back of your car. I hope you like being single even longer, because girls don't date guys that lose fantasy football leagues. Luckily, I got married, so she has to unfortunately be embarrassed, but it's the Lord's will. So,
hey, Clara, who do you think is going to win this week? Uncle JP or Zach?
She just did a fart noise. It's definitely not Zach after that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, every time we say Zach, she just does a fart noise. What's up?
Hey, this week, write-ups are going up with power rankings. You'll be surprised. Someone is leading you in the division. You might have the better power ranking. I was surprised at the initial power rankings that have come out this week. So be sure to read the write-up. Any final words?
Good luck, guys. I'm just shooting for not last place, so I really hope it goes to Zach.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, everyone in the West Coast is rooting for you to win this week. So you can bring down Rhett, and they can get a shot at that number 2 spot in the division.
See ya.